Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, yes, you watching from your phone while ignoring your group chat. Today, you're not just scrolling. You're seated on the bench of democracy. The defendant in this case is the state of Texas, and the charge? Attempted murder of fair elections with a deadly weapon called racial gerrymandering. Governor Greg Abbott and the Texas GOP just cooked up a redistricting plan that is alleged to be so racially gerrymandered, it looks like it was drawn with a burning cross. Let me break this case down real clear for you, because this isn't just about Texas. This is about what could become the blueprint for minority voter suppression in America. I'm Legally Hype, your legal plug. But before we keep going, make sure you like and subscribe for more legal news. Governor Greg Abbott and the Texas GOP are being accused of trying to cheat in the 2026 midterms. Again. And not subtle cheating, not even sneaky cheating. We're talking out in the open, grab the map and redraw to favor yourself like it's coloring book day in hell type cheating. All because President Donald Trump told them to in an effort to keep Republican control in the House of Representatives. Abbott called a special session to redraw Texas's congressional map. Not because of new census data that was already done, but because Republicans want 5 more seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. Not 5 earned seats, 5 manufactured ones. Texas Republicans are being accused of cooking up a new district map so rigged, it should come with a warning label. May contain traces of democracy. And guess who gets drawn out of their own district? Representative Jasmine Crockett, a loud, proud, Black Democratic leader, just magically no longer lives in the place she represents. And Texas said, oops, new map, who this? One could surely argue this isn't democracy. This is political plastic surgery with a scalpel soaked in voter suppression and racism. But wait, how do we even get here? Let me take you back for a moment. See, in 1965, after years of lynching, literacy tests, and poll taxes, we got the Voting Rights Act, a landmark civil rights legislation designed to stop exactly this kind of racial discrimination at the polls. But in 2013, the Supreme Court basically said, "What's over? Oh no, it's over. We fixed it. We're good now." So they gutted the Voting Rights Act federal oversight powers. Specifically, the part that blocks states like Texas from doing things like drawing congressional maps so that Black and brown minorities have little to no voting power. And now we're watching the consequences in real time, because racial gerrymandering, drawing districts to minimize the power of Black and brown voters, is not just a dirty trick. It's illegal, okay? It's unconstitutional, and it's as American as voter suppression itself. Let me explain it simply. Racial gerrymandering is when politicians draw voting maps that target communities based on race. They use 2 classic moves: packing, which is stuff all the Black and brown voters into one district so they only have influence there, or cracking, which is spread them out across several districts so they're never the majority anywhere. Either way, the goal is to weaken the voting power of non-white voters. It's like putting sugar in the gas tank of democracy. It breaks down. And it's not just immoral, it's unconstitutional. The Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment says you can't discriminate based on race. Plus, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act specifically bans voting laws or maps that dilute minority power. But that's exactly what the new Texas map is accused of doing. Texas Republicans are not denying this as a fact, and this isn't the first time Texas has been accused of drawing racially discriminatory maps. 8 lawsuits have been filed and consolidated under the name LULAC v. Abbott, challenging Texas's 2021 map for violating both the 14th Amendment and the Voting Rights Act. The plaintiffs say that Texas is doing what it's always done, cracking and packing Black and Latino communities so Republicans win, even when they lose the popular vote. But see, here's the kicker. Republicans already hold 25 of the 38 congressional seats in Texas. That's over 65% of the power. But under this new map, they'd hold nearly 80%. Republicans claim this is all just politics, okay? Nothing racial to see here. They say redistricting is about partisan advantage, not race. That somehow Black and Latino voters are just flocking to the GOP. So it's fine. We good. Look, according to Republican polling data, every single group, Latino voters, suburban moms, Black voters, you name it, they all said the same thing. It's the economy, stupid. And guess who they think actually listened to them? Donald J. Trump. In 2020, 15% of Black men in Texas voted for Trump. In 2024, that number jumped to 34%. That's not a small shift, okay? That's practically a political earthquake. The RNC chair, Michael Whatley, claims that redistricting maps will have minimum impact because the midterms will be about the success of President Trump's agenda. Republicans also claim that Dems are crying wolf because they've already gerrymandered the states that they want. In Illinois, in New York, they've been drawing lines so squiggly you think a toddler got a hold of an Etch-a-Sketch. But Texas, North Carolina, and Ohio, mostly red states, remain the holy trinity of gerrymandering. Like, if democracy were a crime, these states would be serving life without parole and then still running for re-election from behind the walls. Governor Greg Abbott says that Dems are losing the Black and Latino vote. So the new map just reflects that. And the Texas Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, said that Texas is redrawing its map because it can, okay? It's a red state and they have the right to do it. So now what did the Democrats in the Texas House do? They said, nah, we not having it. They packed their bags and dipped out of Texas to break quorum, to legally stall the vote. Because without enough lawmakers present, no vote can happen. Well, Greg Abbott did not like that. So what did he do? Tried to have him arrested? The Speaker of the House signed their civil arrest warrants, and then Republican Senator Cornyn even asked the FBI to help Texas to find the missing Democrats. Since the Texas civil arrest warrants issued, they don't have jurisdiction outside of Texas. The reality is that this is a civil warrant. It's a civil arrest. So if the lawmakers do return to Texas, they will be arrested and then taken to the Capitol to vote. Democratic Rep. Jen Wu, one of the leaders who left, said, when a governor conspires with a disgraced president to ram through a racist gerrymandered map, my constitutional duty is not to be a willing participant. And now, Abbott has asked the Texas Supreme Court to strip Representative Wu from his seat. And Attorney General Ken Paxton sued the political action campaign Powered by People, who he believes is paying the $500 a day fine that House Democrats have to pay every day that they're gone from the state. Even Republicans outside of Texas, like Mike Lawler of New York, are calling this move wrong and destructive to the country. He's literally introducing a bill to ban gerrymandering altogether. Now listen up, okay? Because if you're thinking, well, shoot, I don't live in Texas, they ain't got nothing to do with me, let me stop you right there. What happens in Texas does not stay in Texas. If Republicans lock in those 5 extra seats in Congress, they could hold power in the U.S. House of Representatives until King Charles gets a tan. This is about power, and other states are locked in and ready to match energy if Texas is allowed to move forward with these new maps. Even California Governor Gavin Newsom has declared that California will take it as an emergency if Texas decides to do what it do. So ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'll leave you with this. The Voting Rights Act turned 60 years old this month. Texas is trying to gut it in broad daylight. And you're the defense line, but there's always 2 sides to the story. So let us know your verdict in the comment section below. Do you think Texas is intentionally diluting Black and brown voters, or is this just politics as usual?